We're going to talk some Jacksonville State baseball. Head coach Steve Bieser joining us now. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing great, Chase. How are you?
Doing well. Appreciate you coming on with us, as I know it is a busy time getting ready. Season a couple of weeks away as you all get it started February 16th. So just first year leading the Jacksonville State program. Just what have you seen from these guys in the off season and the chance you had to work with them through the fall and now in practice? What stand out to you about this group of guys you have this year?
Yeah, I mean, this group has just been very enjoyable to kind of, get here, settle in. We understand the blessings. We got great facilities to develop players and we got some hungry guys here. So, right now it's just really getting them indoctrinated into, our program culture. What is this program going to stand for? Setting our standards both, out off the field, on the field. And I've just seen a lot of buy-in, a lot of guys that are really, they're hungry to go out and prove themselves. And, things have been kind of, there's been a lot of energy. So, we're pushing really hard. We're going through a lot of challenges right now, but, in the long run, we're gonna break through this thing and, have a good year.
And I know anytime you take over a program, especially this day and age in college sports, you're gonna lose some of the roster. You're gonna have to work to put a new roster together. How's that gone? Just taking over this program and having to kind of put the pieces together to get ready for the season.
No doubt a challenge. I mean, especially like you said, in this day and age with NIL, transfer portal, those things. This program has been historically strong for a long time, and got crushed this past off season with transfers. I mean, you're looking at about 6, really good players that moved on to other programs, and it was a late start for us to rebuild the roster. But what we're proud of is the fact that the guys that stayed here, the guys that are here, they work hard, and they're good players as well. And we're going to find a way to adapt in this day and age and continue to build this thing.
So who are some guys, Coach, that you've seen here in practice that you think could definitely be major leaders in for your team this season?
Yeah, I think you got to look to the guys that have been here a while, the guys that have been through the thick and the thin. And, one guy that jumps out is Derek Jackson, and, DJ, as we call him. He's a very quiet guy, not real vocal, but he just goes about his business, gets his work in every single day, and has a desire to win. So he's kind of been probably the lead person, I think, that as our true senior and a guy that everybody leans on. But, there's just so many pieces around that from the position player standpoint. Guys like Brennan Norton, who's, been here, had success, Bear Madliak, those guys have really settled in and helped, DJ lead. And that's going to be important for us. I think the biggest thing is we'll be on the mound. Not a lot of experience, not a lot of depth that is returned. And, but what we've seen is one united pitching staff, guys that know and understand their roles and understand if we're going to be successful on the mound, that we're going to have to attack with, 10, 12, 15 different guys this season and just really, be creative.
We're talking with Jacksonville State head baseball coach Steve Bieser, and, with pitching, you mentioned, not a lot of depth. How do you approach that as a coach? I mean, I know you just said, you're going to have guys step up and do this, but as a coach, how do you approach, trying to figure out, who's going to be in the rotation, who's going to be, especially when conference play rolls around, your Friday, Saturday, Sunday guy. How do you approach that as a coach and figure that out when you don't have a lot of depth?
Yeah, I think the first thing, and what I tell our guys, the best ability is availability. The number one thing that we have to do is keep guys healthy. When you are short on numbers, and, baseball, college baseball starts off early based on the amount of time that they give you to train your players. When you come back after the new year, we've got 3 weeks of team practice to be ready for our first game, and a lot of restrictions on getting these guys ready. So we're going to have to slow fire into the season with, when you ask about starters or things like that, we really don't have starters at this point. I think that'll be determined as we go through the first 5 non-conference weekends. We're going to be, like I said, very creative and have to use the entire pitching staff. And, the hope is that, the cream rises to the top and some of the guys shine through and build some confidence. And then we can be a little bit more traditional when we get into conference play with, what the pitching looks like. But, the biggest thing, we were able to do some things, being able to use the analytical side and a lot of stuff that we've got here now that we can help guys shape their pitches. It's not just totally what the eyes see. We can see the numbers and see how the pitches move. And then we can tinker with that and try to create an identity for each pitcher so that they can go out and be successful.
And I know, Coach, just as far as the offensive side goes, just what have you seen from your guys as they've been able to get the bats out?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some good hitters in our lineup, no doubt. I think part of it is just learning how to play the team game, how to play team offense. We play in a big ballpark, and we've got some guys that have a little bit of power, but this park neutralizes them a little bit. So we got to learn how to manufacture runs so that we can be consistent offensively. And I think that's been one of our minor struggles have been just being able to get up and down the lineup and have really productive at-bats 1 through 9. And part of it, again, is you got to establish your identity, what you're trying to do at the plate. Right now we're really digging deep into plans and approaches and understanding their identity. But this, like I said, there's some talented hitters in this lineup, and as they continue to buy in and work as a unit, we've got a chance to score some runs.
We're talking Jack State baseball with head coach Steve Bieser. Coach, just looking at the schedule, I mean, you've got a tough schedule starting off with a 3-game series with Memphis, and you'll make trips to Tuscaloosa and Auburn, and then you get into conference play. Just talk about the schedule, and then kind of this is first year we get to see Jack State in Conference USA. What do you know about Conference USA baseball?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the schedule. Coach Case did us no favors. He's always scheduled difficult, and if you look at his history, he schedules non-conference very tough, and he ends up dominating his conference play. So, we know we got our work cut out for us early. The team that on the schedule that you look at is the University of Iowa, which sounds a little odd, but they've been very good, and they've got probably one of the best pitching staffs in the entire country. We're going to see a couple first-rounders on their staff when they get here this year, guys that, can hit triple digits with their fastball. And, that's going to be a good test for our hitters that, we got older hitters and experienced hitters and see how we handle that type of pitching early on in the season. But, what it does is it strengthens us if we can get through our non-conference without, losing confidence. It's going to strengthen us for conference play, and it's a new conference. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking at, Dallas Baptist, who's been, in college baseball, one of the most consistent programs, top 25 for a long time, kind of leading Conference USA. But that's where we want our program to go. We want to be the leader in Conference USA. We want to be the team that everybody else wants to be like. So, it's going to take a bit, but, we're excited about, where we're at right now today. And we're really excited to kind of get into the games to see, where we're at. It's a little hard to tell. Like I said, one of the things that we lack is depth. So as you're working in practice every day, it's a little difficult to see exactly where you stand with the limited depth that we have.
And I know with it being a new conference, you'll learn a lot about these Conference USA teams as you move through the season. But just kind of, is there a certain thing that Conference USA is known for, whether, power hitting, good pitching, a mix of both? Would you say that Conference USA is known for something in baseball?
Always been known as a good baseball conference. And with conference realignment and the way that the conferences are shuffling so much, it's just, the identity of every conference, other than your big power conferences, and even some of those have changed a lot. We know that. So what we do know is that you go to Dallas Baptist and, they're going to have guys with double-digit home runs and have a lot of power and power pitching, and other places, Liberty and pitching is kind of there. Like, it's just each team, I think, has their strengths, and then they're going to play with inside their strengths. But it's definitely a challenge on the baseball front.
Steve Bieser, head baseball coach of the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. They'll get it going with a home series in Jacksonville coming up February 16th as Memphis rolls in for a 3-game weekend series. Looking forward to some Jack State baseball. Coach, really appreciate you taking a few minutes with us this morning, talking some Gamecock baseball, and we appreciate your time.
You bet, Chase. Anytime.
Thank you.